When I was new at my job, my I had a really good boss, and I was really excited to work for him. But then, after me joining, after a couple of months, he just got fired. I didn't understand why he got fired, and I kept in touch with him. After a couple of years, from new job, he got fired. So I just got together with him. I asked him, "What is happening with you? Means you are such a good human being. Why are you getting fired all the time?" And he said, "I'm good human being, but I am too experienced, and I'm too expensive also. So that's why the companies don't want me to keep." And he was so frustrated. I said, "Then why don't you start your own business? Because that is the right thing for you, because you're so experienced." He said, "At this age, I cannot start because I'm too old." And he just gave me list of things. And then actually I came across with Tammy, and I read her book, said that you made a decision, but only thing you aren't happy with it. And then I realized my boss didn't read that book, and that's why he was in that situation. How many of you are in that situation? Do you want to be in that situation? If you don't want to be in that situation, you should listen to Tammy, because she is a success coach. She has experience with corporate world. She is energy shifter, and that is really high level help anyone can provide, because that is so needed. Because when I was talking with my boss, I really felt his energy was so low, and I that time even he was not aware of that thing. Even I was not aware, but you are lucky, because you are going to know about Tammy and how she can help people to transition from corporate world to their own business so that they can take charge of their life. So before me going any further, let's invite Tammy. So Tammy, will you please tell us what made you change? Because I saw so many people, they are so experienced and so talented, but still they are so scared to take this particular step. So tell us more about that. How did you come up with this?
Yeah, thank you, Sue. I love the story you told about your boss. And I think, a lot of people can relate to whether it's, getting fired or seeing other people fired or just wanting to get out of the job because they don't like it anymore. And so from my experience, I, was in corporate for more than 20 years and had worked my way up. And the further up I got, the more I realized I didn't love the politics. I had always been successful in what I did, but I also had a time where I felt like I had lost control of my career because someone else was pulling the strings and deciding where I was going to be moved to or who was going to report to me and things like that. And it just made me realize that there's more to than just helping someone else reach their goals in a corporate environment. And I wanted to do more. I wanted to have a bigger impact. I had always called myself the mentor manager, and I loved leadership. And so I started working with a coach. I also started working with an energy healer because of some frustrations I was having at the job. I was having some physical issues. And so I learned a lot about energy work and realized I wanted to bring that into what I helped other people with. I learned about a lot about the coaching world. And I was like, oh, I love this environment. And so I started off as a leadership and a career transition coach because I had 20 some years of leadership experience. And I'm like, okay, I got to take the skill sets I have and how can I help other people with that? And so being able to say that this is my skill, these are the things that I'm good at, and how can I turn that into a business? And I think that's the key. It doesn't matter what age you are. I have worked with I've talked to women who are in their 80s who are like, help me get started. And they are like ambitious and excited to do things. So it does not matter
That is
what
so
age you are.
inspiring. That is really inspiring, because many times people think, "Oh, I'm too old for
Yeah.
anything." And yeah,
Yeah. And that just tells me that they just don't have the ambition to do it, right? Or they're not passionate about it, or they're not really clear on what it could be because they're stuck in that indecision and think that they can't make it happen. So if you can get clarity around what it is you could be doing, how you could be helping others, what exactly your steps are that you need to be taking, then you may have a different perspective on whether you can do it or not.
Okay, so say for example, if I'm in this situation, I'm so confused, I want to take next step, and if I come across with you, how will you help me? What is the procedure? What is the process? Because I'm still scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what will you do?
Yeah. So I know it's a like hard place for people to be in when they're like uncertain of what could I do next? Where do I go from here? And that uncertainty can create anxiety and, just fear that holds you back from actually doing anything. And what I do is help them get clarity. I think everything starts with clarity. And I talk about this in my book that when you want to make a big decision, when you want to make a big transition in your life, and going from employee to entrepreneur is one of those big transitions, but you can apply this formula anywhere with big decisions, with big transitions you want to make. But I'll talk you through kind of how to apply it when you're making that transition from employee to entrepreneur. And it all starts with clarity. I call it the clarity trifecta. And so once you've made the decision that you want to do something, I want to start a business or I want to make a relationship change or whatever it is for you, you've got to start getting those questions answered. Most people sit in that decision and they're not happy with it because they don't actually take the right steps or they don't get really clear on how they could make it happen or they don't know who could help them. And so they just keep spinning or making the wrong decisions and going in the wrong path. So it starts with getting clear on what it is you can do for others.
You mentioned about keep on changing and all. So how do you help them getting lasting change? Because whatever we create, that whatever business, whatever empire we are creating, it has to be lasting. So how do you bring the
Absolutely.
lasting change in their life?
Yeah. So the lasting change comes in with these multiple components. So if you're listening on the podcast, you can't see my hands, but if you picture a triangle and there's a circle in the middle, and that circle in the middle is your clarity bubble. The three sides of the triangle are the clarity trifecta, which are the courage, the confidence, and your commitment. And those are the areas that when you want to make a lasting change, all of those have to grow, all of those have to continue to expand. And so the clarity bubble's in the middle because as you get clear on who it is you're going to help, how you could help them, what exactly it is you can do, who can help you with that process and speed it up, or you come to me and I share with you what strategies you should be using, how to put the foundations in place in your business. As you get clarity on those things, that bubble grows. And that pushes out on the three sides of the triangle, which helps to build your confidence. Because so many people will say, I can't move forward. I don't have the confidence to do it. Well, your confidence is your faith and belief in yourself, your faith and belief that you can do it. It's really hard to believe you can do something that you're not clear on. So as you get more clear, as you understand what steps you need to take, as you understand who can help you with that process, as you understand how to make it happen, then your confidence starts to grow, which gives you enough courage to
Mhm.
go out and take the first step. And as you take that first step, the next step becomes a little more clear. You don't have to have everything figured out from beginning to end when you're getting started. In fact, if you do, sometimes that's a bad thing because you get into like the third step and you're like, well, no, my fourth step's supposed to be this, but now I'm realizing I need to make a shift here and I need, and you're not as limber in making those steps and making changes. So you just need to know a few steps in front of you. You've got to know what that bigger vision is, where you want to go, but then just the next few steps.
Yeah,
And as
one
you
step
take
at a
those steps,
time. Just baby
yes,
step. Yeah, if you want to climb Mount Everest, just it starts with one step at a time. How do you eat
absolutely.
elephant? One bite at a time. So
Exactly.
surely, so you have then confidence, then that increases the courage, and that leads you to commitment, and that of course increases the clarity bubble. Wow, that's a really simple formula. You made it so simple because those things are really, really scary. And but I don't see many people actually taking that kind of decisions. For example, what are the mistakes generally people do when they get started into the business? What
Oh,
generally?
yeah, great question. So a lot of the biggest mistakes I see is people, I always say, when you put that entrepreneur hat on, like as soon as you say, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I'm going to start a business, it's like every social media platform out there now knows that you are trying to start a business, and you get targeted with all these different ads, all these different people saying, I have the one solution that's going to make you millions. I have the funnel that's going to get you all the leads you need. And what happens is you get distracted by all these shiny
Oh,
objects,
yeah.
right? You've
Yeah.
seen them, I've seen them. Like you think it's just like these too good to be true things come across, and you're like, I got to do that. I got to try that, because you don't know what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing in your business. And the thing is, like, every single one of those things work, right? It's not that people are trying to lie to you, that they're putting bad things out there, but they don't all work for startups. And there's certain things that work at different times in your business. And so that's one of the things that I teach people is, what do you need to be doing when in your business? When do you introduce different strategies, different techniques into your business? But first, we want to make sure you've got those foundations in place. So that's one of the biggest things is, being distracted by those shiny objects and doing the wrong things, which waste a lot of time and money. And then not knowing what to do, not knowing where to start. And the third is just not having that clarity on the foundations. So trying to jump right to like influencer stage in your business instead of getting those foundations in place first, being really clear on who it is you're helping, how you're helping them, and some of the things that you need to do before you can get to that phase of being the big influencer and doing all the things that they're doing.
Okay. So what you wish means someone you could have changed in your life means what you could have changed when you got started?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, You would have started exactly the same way you started, or you could have changed something.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I definitely would have changed some things. And this is why I made that transition and started helping people with startups, because I realized that I got distracted by a lot of things. I was like, oh, I want to try this and that. And I spent so much time, what I call behind the screen, working on creating things, working on funnels and freebies, and like trying to figure things out, doing a ton of different trainings, all trying to get my business established. And some of them were necessary, and other ones were just not the right thing at the right time. And so instead of getting out and actually going and meeting people and telling people what I did, I was spending time behind the screen trying to build things, and wasn't able to build my business as fast as I could initially. And so I always tell people, we've got to get out from behind the screen and actually go network, go talk to people, go speak, get on podcasts, do different things that are going to get you visible.
Absolutely. So what all the programs do you offer right now? Because means I really understood everything. Means it's really, really good philosophy, all really good bundle you are providing. I just want to know more in details about what all the programs you are offering, because I came to know about your retreats and all, but hey, I want to know more in details because as
Yeah.
an entrepreneur, people are burning out and they are not taking time for self care and all. So I want to know in details about your programs. What do you offer?
Yeah, absolutely. I have two main programs. I have the Inspired Six Figure Business Bootcamp, which is the foundational program. That's for people that are just getting started, or you've already started, but you haven't actually made much money yet, and you haven't put those foundations in place in your business. And so we go through all of the foundations, everything you need, from what programs you're going to offer to how to have a sales conversation, to the mindset work that goes on from going from employee to entrepreneur, to time management. We cover a lot in that program. And that's the boot camp. And then I have kind of the next level for people, which is the Inspired Business School. And in the Inspired Business School is where I have people in there who, have just kind of graduated from the boot camp and are still just getting going, to people who have been in business for years and they're just wanting to get to more consistent income in their business and be able to continue to scale.
Okay, so how long is the boot camp? Because that really sounds interesting. So if someone just wants to try out, many people are in that stage. So how long is the boot camp generally last?
The boot camp is for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And we've got
Yeah.
lots of support. So we have weekly Q&A calls where you can come on and ask me anything, and I help support you through that. It's a lot of accountability and a lot of hands-on. I get to know my people really well.
Yeah, 90 days actually, I think that is a really good time frame so they can figure out and they can have clarity and they can have plan and everything. And your other program that inspire, so how long is that program?
That's a year-long program.
Oh, that is amazing. So then basically once they have a boot camp, it is a year long program. So means basically I think that will set their life, right? Because means
Yeah,
that is how it is aligned. It is perfectly aligned. And
absolutely.
so you have a jumpstart kit for someone who wants to transition from corporate world to business world. Will you please tell us more about that? Because our audience will be interested in their gift, especially gift from a success coach. That is really, really valuable. So will you please tell us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can get the Corporate to Cash Jumpstart Kit. It's at thejumpstartkit.com. And that is your guide. If you're going from employee to entrepreneur and wanting to start your business without all the headaches, with all the distractions, it will give you a jumpstart on what your program is, how to get clients, what strategies you should be using initially to start your business. So it's all the key components to get going in your business, starting with some of those foundations, how to know your numbers. There's a lot in there, and you will get audio recordings kind of telling you how to complete each piece of that. So a lot of information in there for you. Go grab it at thejumpstartkit.com. And it's whether you're just getting going or if you've been in business, but you're just not getting that consistent income, you're missing one of the components in here. And so grab it, figure out what you're missing so that you can get a jumpstart on your business.
Sure, thank you. Means I personally I would like to take a look at it, and that is a really amazing gift. Many people will be blessed to have that gift and to get started and can't wait to get into your boot camp and surely if qualified, because I think for getting the inspiration that program, I think you have to you must be really picky, you must be qualifying people to get into that program. And really really appreciate all you coming over here and sharing your success strategies. Do you want to say anything in closing, because our audience would like to know more? Do you want to say anything in closing?
Well, I just want to say to your people, I mean, you need to get inspired by what you do. So no matter where you are in your life, no matter where you are in your career, where you're at in your business, take a step back and say, am I happy here? Am I inspired by what I'm doing? Is this the direction I want to go? Because now is your chance and your time to make a shift. And if it's right for you to make that leap and jump out and be an entrepreneur, that's awesome. Reach out to me. I'm always here to talk to you. If you're making a different type of transition, I think the thing for you today is just to commit to the decision that you want to make in the life you want to create.
Okay, sure. Thank you. We really, really appreciate and looking forward to all the success which we can achieve because of your success coach. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. It was great being here with you.
Thank you.